Welcome everyone to tonight's webinar. We're so happy you've been able to join us. We are going to begin now. Please make sure your speakers are on and turned up. If you're experiencing problems with sound, you can click on the link audio check and audio checklist actually that was in your email confirmation. You all know probably by now that the panel box states Eileen Hickey is speaking. Eileen is the administrator of the webinar account, but my name is Mary Bennis, and I'm the Director of Membership and Volunteer Services, and I'm your host for this evening, along with Dee De Silva, your Membership and Volunteer Services Manager.
I just want to take this minute to do the audio check. If you hear me, can everyone please raise their hand? You'll see a little gray icon. Okay, I already see some hands going up, so I know the sound is working. If you're having any difficulty, please turn up your speakers on your computers. Okay, great. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And there we are. let's pass that one. So tonight's agenda is all about the onboarding process of new leaders, along with a question and answer segment. So Dee is now going to begin to speak to you about the new leader experience.
Okay, good evening, everyone. This is Dee speaking, and I'm going to walk you through now what the new leader experiences as she comes on board to become a new leader. The first step is she will begin from our website, okay? Registration allows the volunteer to select the right opportunity for them and complete membership registration, screening, and the welcome video through a seamless and streamlined experience. The new leader will complete the following steps that I'm going to walk you through now. I'm going to take my time this evening, so if you have any questions as I go through these slides, please start typing them in your question box, and at the end of the webinar, we will get to all your questions. Okay, so the new leader will select volunteer today here and complete volunteer interest form by filling out this form here that you see. Now, please note, too fast. Please note that on the bottom of this, the default is I want to be a volunteer. That's going to be highlighted right here on this circle. So if somebody is not interested in being the troop leader, they'll have to click the box, the little circle here, so that they just register as an adult member. But since I'm walking you through the new leader experience, they will keep that checked here so that this interest form will now trigger that they want to join as a volunteer. Next, once they do that, they're going to receive an email saying, thank you for your interest in volunteering with us. We're excited for you to start, and here's how it will work. First, you'll select the role that's right for you. Next, you'll register with Girl Scouts as an adult member. After that, you'll undergo a simple background check. Finally, we'll tell you more about Girl Scouts and help you get started. If you have any questions or need more information at any point in the process, let us know. We're here to help. So you're ready to choose your role. Click below to get started. Now this takes them to the opportunity catalog. Here they are co-leading. If they're co-leading with another troop leader who already has a troop number and they know that, they will type in that troop number in the box shown right over here. If they do not have a troop number, they can also search by zip code and the miles, which is illustrated right here on this screen. Okay, just by clicking on the search brings you to the next page. Okay, after clicking on search, this screen will appear with options to select. They should click unsure if they do not know their troop number, or if they're brand new leader coming on board, they wouldn't have a troop number. After they select unsure, another screen will pop up, which is illustrated here, asking why they are unsure. Then they will type, don't know my troop number, or I'm a new leader, I'd like to be a new leader, I need a new troop number. And that will come to us at the council, to a membership recruiter, who will then contact them and give them their troop number and start them on their process. If they know their troop number, as I indicated earlier, they can select the volunteer role that is for them. So they'll type in the troop number. This person knew the troop number, and these are the opportunities in this troop. This is the same troop number that you see here, comes up. They can select, oh, I'm going to be the fall sales manager for this troop, and they'll click here. Or they're going to be the troop leader with the other troop leader, because they already know the troop number. They'll click here. So now you have the two troop leaders for that troop. So again, please type in your questions. Next, the volunteer will be prompted to register. Okay, this form that they see here on the top here of the screen says adult registration. That's the title to this page. But when they're in our new system, it will come to this, become a member. That's their adult registration process now. They're going to fill out this information, and then they're going to come down here and they're going to check this box, because it won't let them go through actually without filling out the information and checking the box and then hit submit. Now, if something's incorrect, it will light up and let them know that there's an error, and they'll go back and look at it. All right. The next screen here, they're going to select their $15 to pay their membership registration and continue to fill out everything that's highlighted that's necessary. Now also, let me explain on this screen, if they are already registered and they paid their $15, they will be told they're already a member and they're not going to be charged. However, they still need to go through this process to move to the next phase. So I need you to communicate this, because a lot of our potential volunteers are getting stuck on this process, knowing that they already paid their $15 and then they're afraid that they're going to have to pay it again. And that will not happen. If they already paid, the system will recognize they already paid and let them know that. Okay. Next, after they have registered and paid, they're going to receive another email from us saying, thank you for registering. We know you're excited to get started in your new role. Now that we've processed your membership, the next step you're required to complete is your background check. Because remember, we selected to be a volunteer, not adult registered. So as a volunteer, in leadership roles, working with the girls, you need a background check. So you're going to receive an email about this soon. So remember, if you have any questions, we're here to help. So this is already going to let them know to look for another email. So what happens next? Example of a volunteer welcome email and a background check information. What's going to be, this is what they're going to receive as an email from us, is welcome to Girl Scouts as an official member. We know you can't wait to start the fun in your volunteer role. The good news is you're almost ready. We just need you to complete 2 more simple items, a background check and a short online introduction to the organization. Here's how the background check will work. You'll receive an email from our trusted vendor, which conducts background checks on all of our volunteers. Simply follow the instructions and you'll be on your way. Once your background check has been processed, we will contact you about your online introduction to Girl Scouts. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm here to help. Okay. Next, you also receive an email to welcome you to the member community. This will be triggered at the same time that background check email they'll receive both of these. Within the member community, the volunteers can view the welcome video, which will be the first thing that they're going to see. How it works, when a volunteer clicks on the link in the email here, the screen shown on the next slide to the Girl Scout member community appears, and they will be prompted to choose a password. So we'll take a look at what that looks like now. Okay, so this is what's going to be prompted after they had clicked on that link. And they're going to be asked to put in their user, name would be their email address that they have on file. That's what they're registering with. This is very important to be consistent with the email. Then they're going to put in their password and repeat it to verify the password like you normally would do if you signed up for any PayPal vending opportunities. Okay, and then you're going to hit save. Now, that will bring them to logging on. And the first time, as I mentioned, the first time they log in as that volunteer, they're going to be directed to the welcome video. And we'll get to view that in a little while. All right. They're going to have the opportunity to look at the volunteer toolkit now and also the member profile. And we'll go into more of that details in a little bit. Okay, so this is the first thing they're going to see is the welcome video, and I'll play that for you now to hear.
Hi, I'm Alyssa, and you're a volunteer. That deserves a big high five. But since there's a screen between us, I'll just say thank you. Thank you. This video is a quick look at Girl Scouts from your side. But since I'm a seasoned pro, you can trust me. The most important thing to remember is this. You make Girl Scouts possible for me and lots of other girls just like me. See you in a bit. Don't forget to have fun.
As a volunteer, you are in charge of keeping Girl Scouts both safe and fun. You and your troop will share adventures through something called the Girl Scout Leadership Experience. It's simple. The girls discover what they care about, then they collaborate with people in the community to do something that makes the world a better place. And there's a whole galaxy of activities to choose from and badges to earn along the way. Share these possibilities with the girls. They will discuss, decide, and plan the year's adventures, everything from troop meetings to camping trips. Girl Scouts is fun, but it's tough to have fun with bumps and bruises. So, we require you keep safety a top priority. Use the safety activity checkpoints for all of your non-troop meeting activities. Make sure your girls have proper supervision, always 2 unrelated adults, sometimes more. Get permission from parents and caregivers for anything outside of the normal time and place with girls. Be prepared for emergencies. Make sure everyone in the troop knows how to handle fires, weather, and evacuations. And of course, always have a first aid kit handy. Feelings get hurt too, so one of your most important roles is to ensure that your girls feel emotionally safe. This is the place where girls try new things, and they have to do it without fear of how they look while they try, fail, practice, and succeed. Always include everyone. Never ever allow cliques, bullying, or discrimination in your troop. Be the role model that encourages openness and acceptance. You probably have more questions. That's a good thing. Your council will be answering them and supporting you throughout all your Girl Scout adventures. And don't shy away from asking parents for a little time every now and then. Making adventure happen is a collaborative effort. Finally, use the resources your council will provide for you. You'll find all the answers you need in there, from how to transport girls to events.
Okay, it cut us off a little bit, but I'll continue. Okay, so after they have viewed, because there was only about 30 seconds left of that, after they have viewed the video, they are also asked to complete some questions that you see here on the screen. And these are yes and no questions. And once they are generated and submitted, they do upload to their contact record at council, and we are able to view them and then answer any questions they may have if they answered that they didn't understand some parts of this welcome video. All right, so if anybody has any questions on that process, please let us know. This is not the only training. They also will be prompted to continue training, which I'll go into more detail as we move forward on this webinar tonight. All right, so what happens if the volunteer stops in the middle of the process? Well, they're gonna in any slot, any time that they stop, if they don't complete their registration for the adult registration, what will happen is the system will automatically send them an email saying, "Can I help you? We noticed you didn't move forward out of the welcome getting started stage." they use those terms. Or if you didn't view the welcome video, which we just saw, and answer those questions, again, they're going to get prompted. Do you need assistance in answering those questions? Okay, it's all going to be automatically generated by emails to the customer to help them proceed through it. And also, staff is able to go in and assist them manually, help them move through the stages, because we're going to be able to actually go in and represent them as in their member profile and move them along. So it's very user-friendly for both ends when the system is started from beginning to end like this. All right, so if there's any questions regarding any of this process that we just went over this evening, please remember to start typing them in your log. Your panel log has a question box there so that we can answer any questions at the end of the webinar. All right, I'm going to continue moving on and show you now the next step of a new leader's training. All right, so from our website, if they click on volunteers, they'll see that it brings them to the next page, which is training. Right here is the training. And once they click on that training, it then will move them on to the next page. And they also could view the volunteer toolkit here if they want to take a glimpse of it as well before they move into their member profiles. So this is where they go. After they click the training, they're going to come to this page, New Leader Troop, Startup Guide, Steps for Getting Started. And the first part of this paragraph indicates what they already went through. The registration process, the interest, and moves them on to the welcome to the video. Then number 2 is this training, to continue their training, and let me show you a better view of that so you can read it. It's start your training. Note, before you can meet with your troop, the following training video must be watched and documents viewed. Now this brings them to the Girl Scouting 101. And there are going to be links on our website that brings them directly to these documents so that they can view it to continue with their training. Once they view the 101, which is around 45-minute video, they will move on to the Troop Startup Guide and read through the pages on the Troop Startup Guide, which also will provide many opportunities and links to for other resources that they need to know and learn and show them where to find them. Then also, it's the Volunteer Essentials. Now they're going to review the whole Volunteer Essentials. We highly recommend the Getting Started section from page to page. But this is their resources for the rest of their careers as a troop leader, is to always go back to your Volunteer Essentials manual and check what you need to do. Now, also the safety activity checkpoints, there's a link that's going to bring them right to that. And it will discuss in your troop startup and also under Volunteer Essentials how important it is to always check on your safety activity checkpoints before you plan any activity with the girls. Then, after you read your Troop Startup Guide, it will tell you, once all information is reviewed, please complete the sign-off form and email to customer care. At which time, when it comes into the council, it will then be recorded on their records that they have completed training. Okay. Also in the Troop Startup Guide is their position descriptions that many of you may be already familiar with. They're going to be reading that, and that's what they're actually going to be signing, a separate page to bring back to council for us to know that they completed the training. So if anybody has any questions before I move on to the next slides, we're almost through. Please continue to type in your questions. We have a few coming in that we'll definitely talk about. Okay.
Maybe we'll take a break for a moment. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We did speak about background checks, and over the past week, I've gotten quite a few questions on the background check process. So one of the biggest questions I've gotten is, does the background check only apply to new volunteers? And the answer to that question is no. The background check applies to all volunteers in certain roles. Those roles include troop leader, co-leader, treasurer, fall product sale chair, cookie chair, annual giving chair, and drivers. So the bottom line is, if anyone, as Dee had gone through the process, if anyone goes into a particular troop and there is the cookie chair, which is she or he has decided that they want to volunteer for, and clicks cookie chair, that will automatically trigger that background check. It's really those volunteers who are working directly with girls or with girls, and those volunteers that directly work with money. The system will automatically notify the volunteer when their background check has expired and it's time to renew. So you may have volunteers who say, well, I did it, I did it, and she did it, and I got the email and she didn't. It's really going to be triggered by the system, and it's going to be as each individual person's background check expires. The cost is $6.25, and please understand that it would be an appropriate use of troop funds if needed. Background checks are necessary every 3 years. So another question I've gotten this week quite a bit is, what if a person who holds one of the positions mentioned refuses to comply with the request for a background check? So the answer to that question is a background check is mandatory for all positions mentioned, and it occurs every 3 years. So a parent or guardian or any person who does not hold one of these positions can become a registered member without having to complete a background check. I also got this question. What happens if there is an issue reported when a background check is complete? The answer to that is that counsel will connect on a case-by-case basis with that particular individual. Another question. What service unit positions, if any, must complete a background check every 3 years? And the answer is service unit manager, for product sale chair, cookie chair, annual giving chair, and treasurer. Again, it's those positions that manage money particularly, and of course your service unit manager, who really facilitates and works with girls all of the time. So I did want to answer some of those questions for you because they have been coming in fast and furious.
Okay, and I also will take a minute here because it's on the same subject of background. The question is, do we know when our background expires, and how are we notified again? Everyone re-registering for the 2017 year, it started in 2016. So when you register or early bird, it's going to, and you select that you're a troop leader, you know, you're a volunteer role, it will notify you if we don't have a current background check on file. And this automatically comes from our vendor, okay? It will notify you. So if it's more than 3 years, the majority of leaders, because we didn't have that process in place in 2015, we only did the background check once and that was it. Many of you, as soon as you register for the coming year, will get notified to do a background check.
And it's important to remember that it's for the safety of our girls, we really need to institute this 3-year background check policy.
And also, once you do it this year in 2016, say, you will automatically, 3 years from the date that you started, you had the original background check done, in 3 years from that day, you'll be notified that it's expiring to renew again. Okay, let's see. There is another question here. Hello, I'm Tiffany Washington. I need to know how to become the leader of a troop that has already been up and running and is being taken from the leader at that time. I have done the form for the background check, but I haven't heard anything back yet. Okay, so I'm a little bit confused about the form because there is no form. It's automatically online. And let's see what else. Before my daughter no longer. Okay, so it sounds like you have more than one question, and I'm going to take that off of the webinar right now and get back to you on that, Tiffany, so I can actually talk to those questions that you're asking and guide you through the steps. But it is an easy process, and we're going to walk you right through it. Okay, what about lifetime members? I'm not quite sure about what that means. You're referring to background checks. If they're active in the system, I don't have an answer for you, okay, because they're not going to be registering every year. So that's a very good question. Let me see who's asking that. All right, I know who's answering that. I'll get back to you on that to see how that process is working, how they get notified, or even if we may have to do that manually ourselves, whoever's active as a lifetime member, because we can initiate that from our end as council. It doesn't have to come from the vendor. I can initiate by talking to our vendor to send a background check. So I'm pretty sure if it doesn't do it automatically, we would run a report of all lifetime members who are presently active
in the positions that require a
background check, and that we'll get it done. Trust us, it will get it done one way or another. We're just getting familiar ourselves with the system, so we're not sure what gets generated, but we do have it in our eyesight of what needs to be done, whether it's manually, but a report that we trigger or the vendor. All right, I think we could go on. Not sure about this last question. All right, so I'm going to continue. Okay, so we're going to go into the volunteer toolkit a little bit. I'm sure most of you might have met already the volunteer toolkit. It's a web app that makes it easy for you to get the most out of every troop meeting. And here's the best part of the volunteer toolkit. You can say goodbye to digging through big stacks of books and piles of resources. It's accessible from your home, your computer, your tablet, even your mobile devices. So placing everything you need in one easy to access place that's accessible on the go. So you can get to look at all your resources. With the volunteer toolkit, troop leaders can access a whole year of Girl Scout fun by age level. Year plans come with pre-populated sets of meetings that give you plenty of ideas for activities and all the resources you need at your fingertips. Don't see an activity your troop loves in one of the pre-filled meetings? Well, go ahead and add that camping trip or visit the Science Museum yourself. You could add it right onto your plan. Your year plan is fully customizable. You can even change the order of meetings by just dragging and dropping. Troop leaders can also manage troop finances, assess the girl and family roster, and I'll go into more detail on this next, so you get a better look and close-up look of this. Okay, so this is what the volunteer toolkit. To access the volunteer toolkit, you visit our website and you click on that My Girl Scout link, that little tab that's on the top right-hand side of our website and on our home page. That's the main menu. You need to log in to view your toolkit. So you're going to log in, use your user ID, address, your password, and then it brings you to this screen where you could choose to view the volunteer toolkit and the member profile. Now, the member profile is parents could also have access to that My GS tab, but they're only going to see the member profile at this time, and they're going to see who's registered in their household. But the leaders have full access to both the volunteer toolkit and the member profile, which will tell them who's registered in their troops. Okay, so this is where we're going to take a closer look up at what it looks like inside this volunteer toolkit now. So here's your tabs, all right, for the volunteer toolkit. Each tab is going to help you run your troop. The My Troop tab has a list of all your girls in your troop and the adults that are registered. Year Plan tab is the troop's year plan that you create, what activities you like to do. Also, council notifications also auto-populate here, such as reminders right now. If you're in your volunteer toolkit, it says that cookie sale began February 6th at 4 p.m. It also gives you a notice that February 29th, camp registration early bird discounts ends. And then March 13th is the Gold Award recognition ceremony. And you might want to add to your year plan the camporee that's on June 11th coming up. All this is communicated to every troop leader right from the council. And now this is your resource tab. I clicked here, and this is all the resources available. You can click here for your videos. You can walk it through how to use this. It's all there laid out for you. If you're not familiar with how to start your plan, just click there and it'll walk you right through it. Then you have your safety information that'll bring you right to your volunteer essentials manual for all the safety information that you're going to learn there. And then you have your activity checkpoints right here to make sure that you check on that before you begin any activity with the girls. So you have all your resources, as I mentioned, right at your fingertips, right here. You don't need to dig and carry all those books and materials around with you. Also now you have your finance tab, and that helps you keep track of your income and expenses. So that's a very nice handy tool to have as well. Okay, that pretty much covers our volunteer toolkit and what the new leader experience is all about. So again, this is the end and conclusion of our webinar tonight. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in your question box now so we can cover all your questions. And as we wait for those questions to come in, Mary Bennett will give you a few reminders.
Yes, I just want to remind you, last month, our webinar was all about adult awards and recognitions. I want to remind you that March 1st, the adult recognition orders and nominations are due to council. We have gotten some. We're very excited. We've got some of the higher awards, which is wonderful. Please don't forget that this is an opportunity for you to shine the spotlight on volunteers who are exceptional and who really, really make a difference in the lives of girls. So join us. I want to remind you to join us on March 14th. And that's our next regional meeting webinar. And it will be early bird renewal, because our early bird renewal will begin on April 1st. I also want you to remind you that our auction is officially opened. And if you visit our website, you can bid now through February 29th. And you can come back often, and new items are still being added. So please go to our website and click on Bidding for Good for the opportunity to support Girl Scouts Heart of the Hudson on the financial end. So we do look forward to being with you again next month on March 14th. And we do look forward to you sending in those nominations with all the completed paperwork. Certainly, if you have any questions, Dolores De Silva is always available to answer those questions. Jane DeVito, Pat Elwell are available, especially on the adult recognitions piece. They're supporting our effort. If you didn't know, it's the annual meeting and the adult recognitions are April 16th. And they're in Putnam County. That information will be going out very shortly in headlines and happenings. I do want to let you know that we have recorded this webinar, and if all went well, we will be putting it up on the website in case you would like to have your new leaders maybe listen, or if you would like, even if you would like some of your existing leaders to revisit the volunteer page of the website and the training page of the website, reminding them that safety activity checkpoints, click here, remind them about volunteer essentials, managing money, and all that goes along with learning to really, really be that exceptional leader. So again, I thank you, and I don't see any other questions, so I'm hopeful that we've answered everything that we can. We're just double checking. Anything, Dee?
It says, okay, we have a couple good questions here. How do I know that I attended this webinar? How do you know that I attended?
We have the report. We can pull the report.
All right, but first let me clarify that. If you're sharing a computer and you didn't register for this, we will not be able to track that. So you will have to let us know that you're sitting next to somebody listening to this webinar. Otherwise, as soon as you receive that link and it asks you to sign, register for this, we have everyone that actually joined us tonight. It automatically gives us a report on who attended. And ladies, it also tells you when you hang up on us, just to let you know.
And gentlemen.
And gentlemen, right. It tells you when you came on and when you came off. So believe me, I know if you've only been on for 3 minutes or for the full time, it does report back to us. So that answers that. All right. How do we know? All right. Got that. What proof will the council have that I attended this? I answered that, I'm sure, clearly enough. And do older troops have access to the finance section? The leader, I believe you're talking about the volunteer toolkit, the leader has access, so will the girls, and they could certainly help with that process. How does a leader close her troop to new girls in the catalog? That's pretty much as you always did.
Right now, new troops that are forming are the recruiter will put the troop in the catalog. We're always looking for a minimum of 12 girls because really that's an optimal number. There are many troops that say, oh no, 15 is good, 18 is good, 20 is good, and we can set that in the catalog if you want more than 12. What will happen though is as soon as your troop is filled with 12 girls, it will not be in the it will automatically not be in that catalog anymore unless you tell us, no, Mary, I really want 15 or I want 18 or I want 20.
Okay, so let's see. Yes, I see something. For the answer to my questions, will they be emailed to me? Oh, yes. Tiffany, I will definitely connect with you. Absolutely. Okay, and one other question we have here. Are there plans for service unit managers and registrars to have access to units, troops, rosters?
What I can tell you is that you should still be receiving monthly rosters as a service unit manager. If you have not, please just connect with any one of my membership and volunteer services managers, Deanna Armbruster, Catherine Larkin, Jane DeVito, Angelina Tomasi, Pat Elwell. Laura has retired, and I actually have gotten a few emails that said I emailed Laura and she hasn't gotten back to me. So please feel free to call them at any time. They absolutely know how to pull rosters from InfoScout and can get that information to you. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, I believe we answered everyone's question. All right, one more came up. Okay, so the question here is, we do get them monthly, but in product sales times, it is not up to the date enough. And often girls are registered in another troop and we can't find them.
All right,
That's a Roberta.
Amy, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not, what service unit are you from, Amy? If you can just let me know. Okay, Arlington. So Deanna Armbruster is your partner. And I have to say she is trying very diligently to keep up with the transfers. You know, what happens is sometimes parents register or renew girls and they don't get them in the right troop for some reason. We had some odd 700 girls who were not where they were supposed to be. We've got that down to 271. Info Scout, Volunteer System speaks to Info Scout every night. So the next morning, we should be able to give you updates of anyone who registered the day before. Our customer care staff is working very hard, making sure that all the girls get transferred properly. So Amy, I do ask you to work with Deanna, and I'm certain we'll be able to give you as up to date as we can. The only challenge we do have occasionally is paper. And please, please, I ask that if you have anyone that still wants to hand you a piece of paper, to have them call the membership and volunteer services managers or customer care. You can email customer care and they will get the girls or adults registered over the phone so that we can get them in, overnight instead of a potential week by the time paper registrations get to their destination and then get input into volunteer systems.
Especially with you spoke about the product sales times, and paper delays that process. So we definitely want that to be done over the phone so that those reports are up to date.
Peggy, I see you have, you should be able to get a troop summary. It might look a little different because we are not using Personify reports. We are using Info Scout reports. Peggy, I believe you're also the Poughkeepsie area, so it will be Deanna Connect, and she's been practicing her reporting skills, and I'm certain we'll be able to give you the information that you need.
And Deanna is on the line here. Deanna, you have anything that you would like to share, Deanna? I'm not sure if Deanna has a mic on her computer.
All right, I'm seeing the troop that's happy with 9 question. So the question is, I understand how to expand the troop beyond 12, but what about the troop that is happy with 9? How do they close their troop? Okay, at this time, all existing troops prior to January 1st, all existing troops were asked and will be asked again to open up their troop for a minimum of 12 girls. So that messaging has gone out. We have gotten back emails from troop leaders that say, yes, yes, put my troop in the catalog, open my troop in the catalog. 12 girls would be lovely. 15 girls would be lovely. So existing troops prior to January 1 have been offered the opportunity to go into the catalog. And again, as I said, we're going to be messaging that out occasionally. New troops that are forming understand when the recruitment is being done that a minimum of 12 girls is really optimal to begin that troop experience. I do think that if you're a recruiter or if you're a service unit manager who does recruiting, that when you're doing that recruitment, you need to be very clear about the expectations of the volunteer position. If someone says to you, I only want 4 girls, that's all I can fit in my van, I only want 5 girls, and they have to come from my little apartment building, I would recommend that maybe troop leader isn't the ideal position for that volunteer. Maybe that volunteer would make a fabulous cookie chair or a fabulous fall product sale chair or a fabulous treasurer. So, that's kind of a conversation that you would have with your recruiter, your partner, your council recruiter, your partner in really messaging out what Girl Scouts is all about. an inclusive organization where there's fun and excitement and girls working together and playing together in an informal educational environment.
Okay, just have Deanna wants to report because she doesn't have a mic on her computer that you can contact her at any time for up-to-date reports.
Yeah, and she is fabulous.
Okay.
And she can work miracles
She's now
in the
the
new
guru.
system.
She's our reporting guru. All right, ladies, gentlemen, if there's any more no more questions, I think we're going to say goodnight. And please feel free to contact us at any time if you have any questions that come up later on. All right, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Talk to you next month.